Alright, hello, and welcome back. So I've been working on Jaws of the Lion speedruns on brutal difficulty. And so I wanted to share the start of the route that I've been going at. I had a run that was going really well yesterday, through the first half of it before I started making some pretty big mistakes. But this is just going to be I think the first 7 levels of the run. And I've got a bunch of really interesting strategies. So first of all, in this category, you're limited to just the 4 Jaws of the Lion characters, but I will actually be using all 4 of them. A lot of the Jaws levels are kind of designed around the specific characters and their strengths, so everybody is going to get used here. Then level 1, I'm actually going to be playing with 3 characters instead of 2. So in Jaws Physical, when it was released, the levels 1 and 2 were tutorial levels, and so they were extra easy. And so when they ported it to digital, they figured since it's DLC, everyone would already have played the base game before, and they didn't need the tutorial. So they actually added extra rooms, but they didn't change any of the enemy types. And so when you add an extra room, but you leave the same number of monsters in the first room, it's really easy to abuse standee limits. So that's what I'm going to be doing right here. On turn 1, I'm just going to send my red guard really far so that he can go and open this door in the first room. There are 6 Vermling Raiders in this first room, and 6 is their standee limit. That's actually why they added some Vermling Scouts to this level, just because in this first room, you would already hit the standee limit and you wouldn't have enough enemies. Because in Jaws, there are no Vermling Scouts in this level. But opening that door, it basically killed 4 Vermling Raiders. And I only have to deal with 2 extra Vermling Scouts. So, 2 extra enemies, but I get an extra mercenary to deal with it. It's really good, and it's a lot faster. It's also a lot easier and more consistent. So I'm setting up Windup here. Windup has an interesting property. It works this way with all tick cards, so Crackling Air, Angelic Ascension, Sharpened Blades. It doesn't matter how many ticks you have left when you use an AoE attack, like the big one, that hits several targets and resolves the attack simultaneously. It will apply all of your charges to all of the targets, even if you don't have enough charges left. So I will only have 1 charge of Windup, but I will be able to hit everything with +2 damage from the big one. So big one's turning into an attack for 5 instead of just an attack for 3, which is super solid. Grasp of the Doom here. This card's actually really good for setting up the Void Warden, because it sets Ice and Dark, and then obviously it stuns poisons and wounds. So it sets you up for a super solid turn the following turn. Just going to be going for as much AoE damage as I can now that everybody has grouped up onto my red guard. And so immobilize them so that they can't run away, and now they'll have to retaliate and then get just a little bit of retaliate in. Then this is what I was talking about. I've got Dark and Ice, allowing me to do really big attacks there. And then now my big one is an attack for 5 on all these targets, and I had destroyed an obstacle on the previous turn, so I was strengthened. So, big, huge, gigantic attack from the, I can never remember what the Demolitionist is called. I don't know why I struggle with the Demolitionist name a lot. I always want to call it the Doomstalker. But now it's just going to be cleanup. Only a couple enemies left. The Elite's down to 4 health. So this was a very good level 1. I think this was the fastest I've ever had. And another really good part is that I got a lot of loot here on my red guard. And I can't remember which road event I got on this one, but I think I got a road event that gave me 10 extra experience, which is really nice because I want my... it's not the Doomstalker. My Demolitionist and my Red Guard to both be level 2 after beating 2 levels. Which you need at least 10 extra experience for that to be the case. So this is basically done here. I have to lose a couple cards just to not take damage, but there's not really a ton left. I actually really like the Void Warden. She's not really particularly good in speedrunning, but a lot of the stuff she does, it's just a lot of the levels in this game were kind of designed around her movement, and so being able to do really big moves with her are really important. And then she has really good losses, like Lure of the Void here. Being able to do an attack for 7 if you have Dark is really, really solid. So 10 minutes to create 4 characters and beat level 1 is not that bad. And then going into level 2, it's going to be a very similar thing. In the Jaws physical, it was just a 2-room scenario, but in digital, it's a 3-room. So I'm going to be trying to open all 3 of the doors at the same time. And then I got another amazing road event here, which actually gives me a free chain armor for my red guard. So that basically saves 30 gold, and it means that I have it for this level, because I can equip it right here. So basically, like, 2 of the best possible road events on the ways to level 1 and 2. And so here I'm just going to move both my characters up. I'm going to go as fast as I can and use my move 6 jump to kind of get back into position back here. And then I just need to set fire so that my demolitionist can get the 2 extra move. And unfortunately, the only way I really can set the fire is with my 6 speed card. So now anytime anybody comes adjacent to me, they'll suffer damage, but a lot of the time these guys just end up healing anyway. Like, they'll do their move and then heal 3, and the 2 damage doesn't end up mattering. Now I basically just kind of want to hope that they'll walk up to me and melee. Unfortunately, these guys have 5 ranged attack cards. They have 2 move and melees, and they have 1 move and heal. So they are not super likely to move up in melee. At least 2 of their ranged cards, they stand still. And then a 3rd ranged card, they stand still, but they push you first. So that one is really rough. You can't get any retaliate if they play that one, unless you're completely surrounded. So yeah, they're just doing some ranged attacks here, which is not really ideal. But basically, I'm just going to hope here that they move up. I want to get wind up set up for another big one. And then they did play a melee here, which was good. So I get to go ahead and go for huge shields. I don't think that many of them are actually going to hit me. But we'll see. At least the elite gets to get hit. And they also suffer the 2 damage from walking adjacent to me. So, pretty decent damage. Yeah, I got to retaliate on 3 of them. Not the best possible scenario, but... Oh, what am I doing here? Oh, that was dumb. I should have gone... Oh, I was disarmed. I see. Yeah, Twilight Stabs would be nice there, just to get an attack 3 on all of them. But, given that I was disarmed, that can't happen. But it's really nice to see this card, because they lay all these traps... And my Demolitionist has 2 pushes between Piston Punch and 1-2 Punch. So she really likes seeing all these traps. And then an attack 5 on all those guys. Beautiful, beautiful. And I can use those traps to my advantage. Ugh, heal. So this level had gone almost perfectly in terms of RNG before that heal came out. But able to use traps to my advantage still and get a little bit of damage with the bottom of this. Twirling Stabs, ugh. Just slightly better pulls there, and I would have had 2 kills. And then that would have saved actually a lot of time. But it's not the end of the world. I still have pushes, so yeah, I should just make this decision quickly. Like, it's not too bad. I mean, this level is obviously going to be a win now. I just need to get it as quickly as I can. Okay, that worked out quite nicely. And now this next turn is guaranteed, because that trap that's right above him is a 5 damage trap rather than a 3 damage trap, because it was one of the ones left in the level. And now I just need to kind of focus on getting some gold on my characters. I don't know why I was thinking here, because I can obviously just kill him with the red guard with that pull. Oops. But that is level 2 beaten. Yeah, this one wasn't quite a best split, but it was pretty close. The level was going really, really well until they drew that heal card. And now the black ship. So the Demolitionist is finally coming out of the party, and it's going to be Redguard and Void Warden. Redguard and Void Warden are both really, really good against Zealots. I guess everybody's really pretty good against the Zealots, but I love being able to give the Zealots attacks just because they always wound. So it's really nice to have them wound their allies. And then every card they have is an attack. And only one of them, if you start adjacent to them, only one of them will they move away and attack you at range. So you have a 7 in 8 chance if you're adjacent to them with the red guard that when you shield, you'll be able to retaliate. And then if you play your immobilized, then it's a 100% chance, which is really, really nice. So first thing I'm going to do here is go for an attack. Just get a little bit of shield on my red guard, and then make one zealot attack the other. I want these two normals to die as fast as possible. It would have been way better if that had gotten like a +1 or something, because it does the damage to both of them. And then if I had gotten the +1, then this guy dies on this turn to the retaliate. But just not quite. And then now I'm able to go for my Twilight, and since I got the chainmail from the road event, I'm actually able to get an Eagle Eye goggles already here, which is really nice. These guys did go really fast, which is a little scary, but it's not the end of the world. Since they were all faster than me now, I know the wolf is not going to do anything next turn, and I can just go for big heals on the Void Warden. Get a little bit of loot here, and that loot also means that the wolf will die to his wound, which is nice to not have to worry about. And I wanted to get the kill and then heal that wound off, but it didn't quite work out since I got that minus, so just able to play double heals to get rid of the wound, although I guess I don't really need it since, or to heal and then get rid of the poison. Yeah, I can just heal myself. We're just going to long rest here before we go in the next room. I'm wasting like a little bit of stamina, but a lot of the really good cards that I want are in the discard. So I played 2 losses in that first room on the Void Warden, and then the top of Resigned Frenzy is also really good in this scenario, and it can go in either the second or the third room, just depending on how the enemies clump up. And so we will just have to see what happens here. I've done a bunch of runs in between this attempt and the recording I'm doing now, so I don't really remember what happens. So yeah, this is their ranged card, their only ranged card, where they move and attack at range. But I've got a pretty decent surround going on right now. And yeah, unfortunately that heal, all it did was remove the wound, but I mean, it's a little bit better than nothing. Not much, but a little bit. So it's really nice here. I can go fast on the Void Warden and give my Redguard another shield to give him just absurd levels of shield. And then I've got my bottom move to walk an enemy onto that trap. So we'll just increase the surround and make that guy die to retaliate. Everybody here is barely going to survive, but then that sets me up for a nice twirling stab. Oh, never mind. These wolves are double attacking. Nice. It still would have been a nice twirling stab, but now I just want to keep my Redguard a little bit safe, just because he's poisoned and wounded. If he gets attacked, I'm going to have to lose a card. But I'm able to almost guaranteed get the kill here. Oh, okay, I went for the disarm to keep him safe for sure. And then this next turn, he'll long rest, and he won't be the focus. And so Void Warden will take a hit if she needs to. But she doesn't. And now just one room left with 3 enemies. So I don't go for like an opening door strategy in this one the way I did in levels 1 and 2. It's just because this room is so long and it has so much difficult terrain that there's no way I could make it all the way across in one turn. I mean, maybe if I played like Blade Dance with Desert Knight, my Red Guard could get there. But all of the zealots would still spawn in room 2. So I would only prevent 3 zealots from spawning in this final room, and I would still get all the snakes. And you'll see just how kind of easy it is to clear out this final room, even with all of the enemies alive. So if you give a shield from the Void Warden, that gets you all the way up to 4, which will just one-shot this snake no matter what. And snakes don't always move, so if he had gotten his 11, he wouldn't have hit me, but everything else, snakes always attack. So I just get in this nice position where everybody is able to hit me and I can retaliate on them. And then if I hadn't granted that shield, then the snake would be alive and Resigned Frenzy would be pretty good because I could poison the elite. But yeah, Twirling Stabs here just kind of wrecked. And then, do I have Lure of the Void? I should have played Lure of the Void there. That was a mistake. Okay, yeah, I figure it out here. Because this is almost guaranteed to kill, and there we go. If only I had that loot card still. But, well, since I got that really good road event, I really don't need any loot anymore on my Red Guard. I can still get a one-handed shield, a poison dagger. I can get that combination, or I can get a Warhammer. Those are all really good. I don't know what is better, but I think the Warhammer is a little bit better to be able to stun everything with Twilight Stabs or with my level 4 card, Burn Away the Dark. So my Red Guard has leveled up. My Void Warden is going to stay at level 1. And she's actually selling everything here. She really doesn't need items. Invisibility Cloak is pretty good on her, but Invisibility Cloak is more important on Hatchet and Demolitionist. So, Ritual in Stone. This level is pretty easy. I just need to make sure. I've lost it a couple times just from getting a little bit ahead of myself. There are 4 obstacles you have to destroy. Once you destroy 2, enemies spawn. Once you destroy the final 2, more enemies spawn. But once again, there are a bunch of zealots in this level, so Red Guard is really good here. And as long as they don't draw that range card on the turn they spawn, then you're in really good shape. So I love when these guys move forward early on turn 1. That makes it to where this elite, I can use this trap to hit him. So I'm going to hit him for 5 with the trap, and then because I used Wind Up with 1-2 punch, it's an attack for 4 and an attack for 3. So what is that? That's 12 overall, and he has 13, so I just need a +1 to kill him. So go ahead and break that obstacle for the Strengthen. Poison means... So with Strengthen, I got a 0 and a -1, which is actually kind of crazy. And so he survives with 1 health, but unlucky there. Yeah, I want to try to keep the demo safe so the demo can guaranteed kill the elite, and then my Red Guard shouldn't have any problem dealing with a 4 health enemy. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm going to end up stunning anyway, so I didn't really need to do that. Nice, +2 gets the kill. Do I have... Okay, no, I don't have the card where I deal 2 damage to a target that's adjacent to a wall. I was thinking that would have been a good play that turn, but I did not have it. So just 1 zealot left to deal with is not a huge deal. Pull him in, deal some damage, and then I can go ahead and destroy these 2 stones before I kill the stone golem. He's just so far away, and he does not move very frequently or very far, so he's not really much of an issue. You can get in, like, face some problems if the Red Guard dies and the Demolitionist has to deal with stone golems by herself because she's not really that great at it. I had a really depressing run where I had a poison stone golem and I had 2 charges of wind up, and I used 1-2 punch and I drew -2s on both of them when I just needed 0s to kill, and it was my final turn and I lost. That was quite upsetting. So just gonna move forward so that I can get some retaliates in. I had to think about where I wanted to go just because the stone golem is pulling me. I didn't want him to step away so that he would lose the disadvantage and get a little bit of range damage in from the demo. This seems like a really good spot because I can probably go for a wound. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wound that stone golem. And then they're really easy to kite, and they also damage themselves a lot. So putting a wound on him means he's just going to die before too long. And then disarm to keep us safe. I really could have just gone for a big one there, I think. But instead, I just grabbed the Bless and got Wind Up set up. I really, really like Wind Up. In a situation like this, it's not really the best time to use it. It's amazing to use Wind Up like in between rooms or just when there's nothing to really hit. Alright, able to pick up the kill there and then just make sure this guy has disadvantage since he's going to hit me no matter what. Since there's fire, he was going to be a 4 range target too. Oh, it's a little greedy going for a long rest there, but not really. And now I can just kite out this stone golem because I think this is just a move 1 card. Yeah, 65. And then heal will remove that wound for me. So I just need to get a kill here, and then as long as the stone golem isn't moving 3, which he is definitely not, I might miss out on the kill. Yeah, but not the end of the world. Can just fly all the way to the other side. Oh, I think I remember what happens here. I make a mistake because I didn't realize that the 1 true damage that Flaming Sickle does. Oh no, that wasn't on this run. That was a different one. Never mind. I had a run where I accidentally destroyed the last obstacle with Flaming Sickle when I did not realize it would die. Yeah, I was planning on the obstacle dying right here. Oh, it's not Flaming Sickle, it's Barbaric Instincts that I do it with. I wanted to pull the Stone Golem in, deal a true damage to him, and then have him die to the wound. But I didn't realize that I was going to break the obstacle there. I wanted to get set up for a Shield of the Desert the following turn. So I kind of messed myself up and then had to change my plan as I went. Because I wanted to get a wind up here. And I was going to go for a 1-2 punch bottom with a big one top. But everything got messed up just a little bit. But I do still have 2 traps to deal with the Stone Golem. So that will definitely be the easy way for the demo to kill him. And then I just want to get big retaliates on these zealots, which they did give me, thankfully. And now that Stone Golem is in a position where I can 1-2 punch him into one of the traps. And I'd probably just go for a Twilight Stabs here. I think it would have been better to get a wound. The Zealots do have a heal, so a wound isn't a guaranteed kill on him, but yeah, I feel like a wound on this guy would have been a lot better than just retaliating 1. But just gotta stay away from this golem and bring him kite so that he comes over back towards this other trap. Oh, I should not have gone for a big one there. That was kind of dumb. I definitely should have just piston punched the golem into the trap. I'm probably gonna get punished. Not super heavily. And now he just gets piston punched next turn. So not too bad, but I probably could have won it on that turn there. Oh, I still did. All right, well, I guess I'm wrong. Alright, so a deeper understanding. This is the first of the boss fights, and we get to see the good old blood tumor. Um, but fortunately, in Gloomhaven Digital, you have invisibility cloaks, so that makes the level a lot easier. And yeah, I was a little bit. I think I was like 1 or 2 experience points short on being able to hit level 2 before that level. It doesn't make much of a difference, but having an attack 2 stun is really nice. And then the extra health. So I sold the invisibility cloak back from my Void Warden just so that my hatchet can buy it here. And then I'm able to get almost a full build on my demo, which is really nice. Unfortunately, neither of these characters are going to do high gold scenarios. This one, like, I'm just going to kill the boss. I'm not going to be killing anything else, so loot isn't really going to be dropping. And none of the levels they do together give any gold as scenario rewards. I would absolutely love if I could pick up 30 gold throughout the run for the hatchet. For when I get to the tables level, it would be really, really nice if I had boots and another potion, a health potion on him. Those would be really, really, really key for that level. Unfortunately, he just doesn't really pick up any gold throughout the run. And so I kind of have to route around that. I have thought about just bringing the hatchet to level 2, because level 2 you get 25 gold. But I really want the 25 gold on both of the other characters, so I would have to do level 2 with 3 characters again to get 25 gold on him, which maybe I'll do a little bit of testing with. But in my memory, it spawns a bunch more elites, and the elites are much more difficult to deal with than the normals. So I just set up an extra lift and just run all the way straight to the boss as fast as I can and just go invisible on him. Unfortunately, because of the way this guy moved forward, he walled off. And then I always have to lose cards to not take damage. So I wanted to just use Rubble Top to move a little bit closer and wind up to get a really big lobbed charge. But instead, I had to wind up to give myself a really big Rubble. Now, luckily, wind up does double your boots as well, rather than just the movement on the card. So I was able to turn my move 2 into a move 8 by adding 2 for boots and then doubling. And then I just had to short rest to get Rubble back since the zealots had blocked the way. But I just jump over and then get a small lobbed charge. But I do have a poison dagger, which is nice. I should have pushed him into the wall. I don't know why I didn't, because then I would be able to do an attack 5 on him. But I get a nice attack 22, because he's poisoned from the hatchet. And so I need to go faster than the zealots here to get the kill. So if they had drawn their 19, I might have lost. But they did not draw their 19, so I can afford to just go ahead and kill the boss. I could have picked up that gold pile. I just would have had to lose a card to not die. My hatchet should be able to survive 1 hit, and then it'll die on the second. And then this last zealot is going to be 1 square away. But I could have just picked up that gold and lost a card for it. Not the end of the world, because my demo is almost full build, so... Only 2 levels left before I completely screwed up this run. I did beat the explosive evolution level first try, but I lost like 7 minutes on it. Because when I got to the final couple turns, everything was so close that I kept having to restart round over and over and over again to play like the absolute perfect round. And it just took a really long time. And then I lost on the gauntlet, which is ridiculous because that's one of the absolute easiest levels. And then I lost on tables, and so I just gave up on the run. I didn't even finish it. But this was an amazing start. Corrupted research. So this strategy my friend Dallin gave me, and it is amazing. So shout outs to Dallin. I just went ahead and abandoned because my road event gave me wound and curse, I think, and I don't really want to deal with that. So my goal is to get on the other side of all of these obstacles as fast as possible, just so that I can ignore these rats. These rats can be a really big problem. So I was planning on using Fancy Hat top to move forward, and then the favorite bottom to wound the elite and jump over. But since they got their 9, the only thing that's faster than my 12, I kind of had to go for a different plan. So I just moved forward, and now I'm going to use Stopping Power as my loss card. So instead of playing Fancy Hat as a loss, I'm playing Stopping Power as a loss, which is not too big a deal, and I can jump over. There is one big issue here, though. It's that -2. It really sucks because I need to destroy all of these obstacles, or objectives, but I don't have like super big attacks. I can't really activate the favorite to hit any of these obstacles because I wouldn't be able to go and get it back. I could get the favorite set up here to try to kill these sludges faster. Demo is just so amazing, though. I mean, being able to do an attack 5, and I think I was able to poison it too. So an attack 6 just kind of destroyed those guys, or that one guy. But this second one, he's now going to be kind of really difficult for me to deal with. It may be best for me to just go for a power pitch loss to kill him. I'm not quite sure. Demo has one ranged attack, though, so she's going to throw it on that objective while she can. And then, yeah, a power pitch wouldn't have gotten the kill, but it might have been for the best. I moved forward to give him disadvantage on that attack. Since he only had move 1, there was nowhere he could go to be safe. But just didn't quite work out. And now he's dealing the 3 true damage, which would kill either of my guys, and it goes through invisibility. So I wouldn't be able to just go invisible to prevent it. But I can stun him, and that does prevent it. Oh, I do get the kill, too. Nice. I did not think that I did. So I'm going to save the ranged attack for the demo so that she can hit that objective that's at the top. It's going to take a long time to destroy all these objectives, especially if I keep drawing -2s like that. That's really annoying. And yeah, like I said, I mean, I could go for the favorite here, but I wouldn't be able to get it back. One thing that I've thought of doing that I really need to try is just using rubble top to give myself to destroy that obstacle at the top next to the top objective and destroy it, because it would make all the rats walk around to the top. So if I just do that objective second to last, the rats probably aren't going to catch up to me. But I don't know. It's super safe to do it this way. It's just a little bit slow. But I will need to move my hatchet up to get that one on top. And then I just want to get a little bit of damage on this one right next to me so that I can guarantee get a kill on it. My characters definitely got, they got like off sync here on their rest cycles, which kind of makes it a little bit awkward. Okay, good, I do get that kill. But I don't have, those were my last 2 cards on the hatchet, and so I don't have the favorite set up, and I really need the favorite set up before I go in. I probably should have short rested here. And that way I could have set up the favorite and set up my windup. Windup is really nice here just because since I'm not playing with crits and misses, I will guarantee kills on the objectives with level. Even if I get a -2. I'm not sure what I did there. I probably just picked the wrong cards. Oh yeah, I think I picked Fancy Hat instead of the favorite. Just because I'm kind of used to the favorite being the fastest card. Because I don't always have Fancy Hat. And then I went ahead and set up an extra lift. I don't really know why I did that. I didn't need to. But I'm just going to go in and double throw on the 2 objectives in the final room. And I'm going to break this one here. And it's a guaranteed kill. And then I can use this nice explosive blitz to come in and stun this entire room. Really nice work from the demo there. Just need a +1. Didn't quite get it, unfortunately. So that's going to take 1 extra turn because the hatchet's going to have to break both of those now. But they still, I have a bunch of invisibility here, so my guys are perfectly safe. And the demo has more cards than it looks like just because Wind Up is set up right now. So once that comes down, there'll be one more card. And then this is kind of interesting, like, since these rats were so fast, there's no point in going invisible, because these sludges would still hit me while I'm invisible, and like the rats have already taken their turn. So I have the invisibility cloak, which I generally plan to use there. I guess I should have used it on the previous turn because it would have kept my hatches safe no matter what. But this should be a guaranteed win. With that fancy hat damage, care package is a guaranteed kill. And then level is a more than guaranteed overkill. And they're both invisible, and I have won. I think the hatchet dies, but yeah, the demo lives with one. So, yeah, man, that level, like, that strategy is really, really good to just be able to completely ignore the 3 rats in the first room and to kill the sludges really fast so they're not just sniping you for 3 damage from far away. But I'm actually really surprised at how close it was. I guess I completely wasted extra lift on the hatchet. I really shouldn't have done that. And now finally he's able to hit level 2 and get repeat shot, which works for a really, really nice burst. I mean, it's an attack 5 if you're hitting somebody with the hatchet, or on the top, but it's just always an attack 5 on bottom. So you can do something like power pitch attack for 9 with repeat shot attack for 5 and get some really, really huge burst. And then this is the other blood tumor level. This is one of the split paths levels where you can pick this one or you can do one that's on a boat. I'm pretty sure this one is faster. I only played that boat level one once, but this one just seems easier. So I'm going to go for favorite with extra lift here. Just get my hatchet totally set up for everything. And then next turn, he's just going to use stopping power to jump over those obstacles. Unfortunately, the zealots walled me off here. And the chaos demons didn't help. So once again, just like on the other blood tumor level, I had to go for a rubble with my wind up on the rubble. So my lobbed charge is going to be doing less damage than it could have. But at least I will be able to reach with it and then go invisible. So go in, get a nice attack for 4. I don't know why I didn't poison. I definitely should have used my poison dagger. That was a mistake, because now he's going to be able to heal, and I would have dealt at least 1 extra damage. Yeah, have to lose a card to the wound, just because I don't want to heal him 1. 20 health is like a little bit sketchy, because I'm going to be doing an attack for 20 with the hatchet. So I mean, he should be guaranteed to die, but yeah, I guess with Crushing Weight, he is guaranteed to die, because that'll deal 2 true damage. And that is it. That is all I have for you. This is the first half of the Jaws of the Lion Brutal run. Hopefully, I will have a full run finished sometime soon, and I'm hoping for a sub 3 hour time. I don't know how realistic that really is, but that's what I'm going to be pushing for. So, have a good one, guys. Thanks.